We're checking in every week with different members of our election night panel, kind of taking stock. Where are things at right now? This time we're looking to former NDP candidate Marilyn North Pagan. Marilyn, so nice to see you. And I got to ask you, these wildfires, are they changing the game?
Well, absolutely, because what we are seeing within this provincial election is a lot of games of ego. So we are starting to forget that it should be citizens first, as opposed to actually trying to attain power and control. So, what it comes down to is the fact that the status quo doesn't work anymore, and we need to start figuring out where that direction is going to change. And citizens do have that power to make that difference.
We're seeing how the candidates are reacting to these wildfires.
As the wildfire situation continues to unfold, the government is prepared to use our emergency powers as needed.
We're in an emergency, and our priority has to be to keep people safe. And that really is what I think we need to focus on as much as we possibly can.
What's your take on their performance so far?
Well, for number one, our Indigenous communities up north are not being, they're facing lack of resources. They're defending their communities on their own through volunteers and through GoFundMe. So once again, we find the Indigenous communities and the Métis communities up north falling through this system as it evolves. And unfortunately, we do not have that Indigenous quality to actually bring these highlights into those circles.
Now, for undecided voters, they're so important right now because this race is so tight. What can they say? What can they do to impress those undecided voters?
Well, for myself, I tend to look at candidates themselves and find out what their values are and if they are reflective of the community. Because we do have an NDP and a UCP structure that is very disconnected from the citizens here in Calgary. And what they are turning it into is a politics of emotion instead of reaching out to the citizens themselves, such as the Indigenous community. This is our Treaty 7. This is our nation. And we do believe that all people are treaty people. And unfortunately, they're not jumping on that bandwagon. So it is a continuation of a status quo that no longer works.
Thanks, Marilyn. I'm looking forward to sitting at the table with you come election night, May 29th. Still more conversations to be had with our election night panel. We'll be checking in next week, a bit of a pre-game. We're going to talk to our panel before the big debate. That's going to happen here on Thursday on City News.